Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at a situation that, well, it really gets to the heart of trust in modern finance. We have statements from the blockchain lender figure on one hand.
And on the other, some pretty stark data analysis from security researcher Troy Hunt.
And what we're seeing is this huge gap between what a company says happened and what the evidence shows actually happened.
It's a classic disclosure gap, a massive one.
The irony is just, it's so thick here. Figure's whole pitch is the security of blockchain, this idea of an unhackable digital vault.
And yet the reality is nearly 1 million people have had their personal data exposed.
So our mission today is to unpack this. We need to figure out what was taken, who took it, and I think importantly, why the company's silence is making a bad situation even worse.
Well, let's start with the timeline, because that's where you first see the cracks appearing. Last week, Figure puts out a statement. They admit to a breach.
But the language they used was very, very specific. They said it involved a limited number of files.
Limited. It's such a classic corporate crisis word.
Right. It's meant to sound contained, manageable. Maybe a single spreadsheet or something.
It's designed to stop you from panicking. But then yesterday, the counter-narrative hits. Troy Hunt, who runs Have I Been Pwned, gets his hands on the data dump.
And for anyone who doesn't know, if he's verifying a data set, it's the real deal. He's sort of the global librarian for data breaches.
And his analysis just destroys that limited narrative.
Yeah.
He didn't find a handful of files.
No, he found 967,200 unique email addresses.
Basically 1 million customers.
Yeah.
The difference is just staggering. But honestly, insecurity, the sheer number isn't even the worst part of it.
It's what came with those emails.
Exactly. We're not just talking about an email list for spam here.
No, looking at the breakdown, this is the really sensitive stuff. Full names, physical home addresses, phone numbers, and dates of birth.
That's high-value PII, personally identifiable information. When you have a date of birth, an address, and a phone number all together.
You're handing criminals a toolkit.
It's a starter kit for total identity theft.
Can you explain that a bit more? Why is that specific combination so dangerous for people?
Well, with just your email, I can send you spam. But with your phone number and your date of birth, I can try a SIM swap. I can call your phone company, pretend to be you, and get them to switch your number to my device.
And then you start getting their two-factor authentication codes.
All of them. Or I can just apply for credit cards in your name because I know your date of birth and exactly where you live.
Yeah.
This moves way beyond just change your password.
This is freeze your credit territory. So let's talk about the attackers. We know who's claiming responsibility for this. A group called ShinyHunters.
Yeah, and that name should ring some serious alarm bells. These aren't your typical ransomware actors.
What's the difference in their approach?
Their entire business model is data extortion. They don't lock up your files, they steal them, and then threaten to publish everything if they don't get paid.
Yeah.
They hold a company's reputation hostage.
And to prove they have the goods, they posted a sample.
A 2.5 gigabyte sample.
Which is huge, just for a proof-of-life sample.
It's massive. It's a signal to everyone that their access was deep and they have everything.
So we have the hackers being very public, and we have Troy Hunt verifying the scale of the leak. Which brings us to, well, the silence.
This is the part that is so frustrating. As of right now, Figure has not commented on Hunt's findings. That limited number of files statement is still their official line.
Why do that? I mean, if the data's already out there, what do they gain by staying quiet?
It's almost certainly a legal strategy. Admitting to 1 million records being stolen triggers very different and much more severe regulatory laws than a limited breach.
So they're waiting.
They're probably trying to verify it all internally before they go on the record, but the optics are terrible. While their lawyers are strategizing, their customers are completely in the dark.
And in that information vacuum, trust just evaporates.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah.
When the criminals are being more transparent about the hack than the company is, you have a fundamental crisis of confidence.
It leaves people in this awful limbo, not knowing if they need to take action.
And that anxiety is the real lasting damage of a breach like this.
So to sum up what we've seen in the sources, we have a claim of limited files that turned into nearly 1 million exposed identities.
We have a notorious extortion group, ShinyHunters, taking credit and leaking gigabytes of that personal data.
And we have the lender itself, Figure, going completely quiet right when its customers need answers.
It's a powerful reminder that even so-called high-tech finance isn't immune to some very old-school problems.
Absolutely. That wraps up our deep dive. But we'll leave you with one final thought to consider. In an era where limited can secretly mean a million people, maybe we should be demanding companies define transparency before a breach happens instead of finding out the hard way. Thanks for listening.